Tony Beets, a world-famous reality TV personality, recently made a decision that has stoked a storm of controversy. His bold Viking funeral decision caused chaos. Beets was famous for his unflinching determination. This unexpected turn of events has left fans and critics alike completely speechless, and it was Tony Beets who was responsible for setting in motion this decision. As the plot develops, it becomes obvious that this choice is more than just a spectacle. Rather, it provides a window into the psyche of a guy who derives his satisfaction from challenging established conventions and breaking the rules. Prepare yourselves, for the uproar that ensued as a result of Tony Beets's daring decision was merely the beginning of an exciting story that has everyone talking. How? On the show, Gold Rush, the incident involving Tony Beets and the Viking funeral decision from earlier in the season, may make it more difficult for him to secure a water license for his mining operations. Fans on Reddit are concerned that Tony will not be able to receive the license he requires because of the pollution charges he faces as a result of pouring petrol into the water and lighting it on fire. They believe that this will be the case due to Tony's poor reputation and his lack of regard for the restoration of land. In the end of the video, the question of whether or not Tony will be able to receive his license is up for debate. On the television show Gold Rush, it is revealed that the Viking funeral may be affecting Tony Beets' ability to obtain a water permit for his mining operations. This news comes as a result of a revelation made on the show. Following an incident in which Tony poured petrol into the water and then set fire to it, Tony was arrested on charges of polluting the environment. Fans on Reddit are concerned that due to this incident, his general reputation, and the carelessness he has shown with land restoration, Tony will never be able to obtain a water permit. The question of whether or not Tony will be able to obtain the license is still being discussed by fans. Due to an event involving a Viking funeral that took place in 2017, improper disposal of petrol, and a refusal to notify authorities about the incident led to legal repercussions for individuals involved. Concerns were raised as a result of the occurrence over the hazardous compounds and carcinogens that are present in petrol. These substances are known to be hazardous to both human and environmental health. This event has been cited in multiple threads on Reddit as a reason that impacts Tony Beets' eligibility for a water license. In these conversations, additional factors, such as his claimed ineffectiveness in land reclamation and faults in judgment, have also been brought up. It would appear that Tony Beets will have a tough time securing a water permit as a result of this, and the renewal of his Indian River business is still up in the air at this point. After the event at the Viking funeral, which involved the inappropriate disposal of fuel and the unwillingness to report it, concerns were expressed over the environmental and health problems that are linked with the usage of petrol. These hazards include potential risks to both human health and the environment. Discussions on many websites, including Reddit, have cited this event as one of the possible causes that could impede Tony Beets' eligibility for a water license. Other causes have been cited as well. It has also been suggested that there may have been mistakes made in the process of land reclamation and in judgment. This has a direct impact on the situation, and as a direct consequence of it, the renewal of his Indian River enterprise is currently up in the air. Tony Beets is profoundly saddened when he learns that he is unable to mine the Indian River because he does not possess the required permission for doing so. The inability to mine the river is a source of great disappointment for Tony. Rewriting the proposal from begin and resubmitting it would take a significant amount of time, many months to be exact. As a direct consequence of this, the entirety of the season will be thrown away. Having to go through the hassle of removing all of the equipment will also be an irritation to deal with. In spite of this setback, Tony's son demonstrates to him the gold that they have already mined, which is worth more than $400 and represents an increase of 100 ounces over the total from the previous week. This very insignificant accomplishment serves as a source of motivation for them, and as a consequence, they make the choice to develop new techniques and study different places in order to carry on with their mining operations. They have come to the conclusion that it is in their best interest to make the most of the situation and proceed with their plans anyway. Tony Beets, who owns a number of lucrative claims, is keeping a watchful lookout to see if he will be awarded a water license to mine the Indian River. The Indian River claim is one of his most lucrative holdings. He is keeping a close eye on the situation. For the past 2 years, he has been waiting for the license and is currently keeping his fingers crossed that he will be successful in obtaining it. Tony is keeping himself occupied while he waits for anything by mining in the Nugget Cut on Paradise Hill. He is doing this so that he can bring in some money. Beginning with the 950 excavator, Tony transports his massive machines to the Indian River in an effort to get an advantage over his rivals. He chooses to transfer the excavator using an old lowboy trailer that he purchases in the hopes of avoiding the trouble of disassembling the excavator in order to put it onto a regular lowboy trailer. In order to do this, he wants to avoid the difficulties of putting the excavator onto a regular lowboy trailer. After loading the excavator onto the lowboy, Tony takes it for a test drive all the way to the Indian River in order to evaluate its performance. Tony, on the other hand, is called into the office in a separate turn of events so that he can make a call to the water board to inquire about the status of his water license. This is a separate turn of events from the one described above. Because it will take him months to recreate the plan and submit it again, he has reached the conclusion that the entire season was a waste of time. This is due to the fact that the plan will take him months to rewrite and submit again. The complete removal of the device will also be a challenging and time-consuming task. As a consequence of this, it is highly improbable that they will be successful in achieving their goal of 9,000 ounces of gold. On the other hand, Tony's kid tells him that the gold they have already taken is worth more than $400 and marks an increase of 100 ounces from the previous week. This reflects an increase of 100 ounces. They are motivated as a result of this very insignificant accomplishment, and as a direct consequence, they make the choice to develop new mining tactics and research alternate places in order to continue mining. They had already come to the conclusion that they would proceed as if nothing had changed and try to see the bright side of things. Beets has worked in many fields, including agriculture, construction, heavy equipment operation, and oil pipeline maintenance. Tony Beets was eventually captivated by the allure of gold mining. He moved to the Yukon to pursue his dream of being a gold miner. He is currently the proud owner of the Tamarack mine in Paradise Hills, making him one of Canada's largest gold miners. When it comes to mining in the Klondike, the Tamarack mine is among the best. In 2010, during Season 2, Tony Beets made his Gold Rush debut. Beets served as a consultant to the other actors throughout his introduction, offering advice on where to look for treasure. He advised Todd Hoffman that the key to profitable mining was to drill plenty of test holes. Due to his extensive background and success in the gold mining industry, Beets is looked to for advice by many other mining families. For more entertaining stories, subscribe now and turn on the notification bell to be the first to know when the next video is up. Tony Beets is a determined gold miner with a strong will. Although his personality has helped him succeed, he can be difficult to work with at times. A lot of people depart because they can't get along with Beets. Beets even had one of his dredging ponds set on fire with petrol in one episode of Gold Rush. One of his workers was fined $1,725. There was a total of $31,000 in beet-related fines. Christo Doyle, a previous producer of the show, also expressed displeasure with Beets' approach towards working with them. While there's no denying Beets' expertise in the mining industry, he may not always be available for shoots. Tony Beets is among the most adored characters in Gold Rush. Most of the actors and staff respect Beets despite his brusque demeanor and profanity. He's been around for a while and has a wealth of experience and knowledge to share. He too has enjoyed success in the past, and now he's a savvy businessman and expert gold miner. Beets is a must-see for any Gold Rush fan.